Welcome guys, and to a little bit of a different video from what I normally do, but with the early access for season 2 just dropped, I wanted to share with you guys everything new that is coming because I am extremely excited. One thing I will say straight away though is don't get too excited that it's going to be just a big of an update is what we get with 1.5 Ignition. The 2.0 is kind of adding, I think, what everything else that was missing from the Ignition patch if it was going to be the 2.0, but there are some really substantial things still coming. And before we get into it, I also want to say that I've been told as well that we're beginning the Steam release version when this patch comes out in about a month or two. It hasn't been officially confirmed yet. This is kind of speculation at the moment, so we've got that to look forward to for you guys who have been hanging off the game to wait for the Steam release to officially come out. But enough of that, let's actually get into the stuff that is coming and that I've already tested and used so far when it comes to the new patch. I'm going to kick things off with the guns because this is probably the main things that have been added into the game, and there's been quite a few of them as well. Starting off with the long-awaited AUG, one of the guns has been requested quite a lot. Obviously chambered in 5.56, another 5.56 weapon we're getting this patch, but this one actually is pretty good. It does lack some modding capabilities, but with only just a suppressor and kind of the sights that you can really change on it, it is still really good even at base. The horizontal and the vertical recoil is very, very low for what it is, and it does have a 750 fire rate as well, so that is pretty good for these kind of guns. It's going to fit, I think, just above where the MDR is. It won't be good as like the M4 HK, but it is still going to be a variable viable gun. But what I saw on the beta so far, that it is kind of expensive. I'm hoping when the main release comes out, it'll be a little bit cheaper. But to be fair, even at the pricing it is at the moment, with how good and how effective it has been so far, it probably actually is priced about where it needs to be, about 200 to 250,000. But if we already didn't have enough 5.56 guns, we have another one, and this one is the SG550. It's also called the Commando in other games like CS and Call of Duty as well. This is one of the guns that they've added in that I kind of wish they didn't. It's really, really bad. Very moddable, but the stats that it gives you with horizontal and vertical from the get-go isn't very good, and also the fire rate is very slow at 550, so kind of coupling that with the lowest base damage on I think any of the 5.56 guns so far, I really don't see people using this gun very much. It is also obviously very cheap, so you probably might see it in budget kits, maybe in normals, but other than that, I probably would steer away from it, and I would probably use the SCAR over this probably every single time. I won't talk too much about more of that one because like I said, I don't think it's going to be one that people are going to use very much, but another long-awaited gun that has finally been added is the G3. Chambered in 308 7.62, a long-awaited version of this gun, what is going to be very comparable to how the FAL was maybe at release. Not as strong as that's going to be because it does have a slower fire rate, but from what I've used so far, it's very effective from close to medium range. Obviously, we get into long ranges, it's going to be completely useless, but from that close to medium range, it is very good, and it's quite moddable too. The pricing is not too bad also. I think this gun will be very strong. Will it be meta? Definitely not. I think that obviously some of the other guns that are going to be mentioned on this list a little bit later are definitely going to be taking that top spot, but the G3 I think will probably replace the FAL in most situations because of the recoil nerfs that gun has gotten over the last year or so. But now to a gun that I think probably shouldn't have even been added in the first place is the PCC-9, what is an assault rifle chambered in 9mm, but is also single shot. It's very moddable, and on the beta version is quite expensive. Not sure what the pricing is going to be like when it obviously fully releases though, but as it stands right now, I don't know why you would pick this gun over any other 9mm gun. Like, who wants a single shot 9mm gun? Like, it just kind of questioned me when they added this one in. I was like, do they actually see people using this gun? Because I don't. And it's not even like it's good memeable, like memeable good. It's just bad in every aspect. Like, I really can't see anybody ever touching this gun with a 6-bit barge pole, but hey, it's new. Maybe you can give it a try and see if it might be different for you and you might like it. Definitely not for me though. But now I want to get into an SMG that I think may be used, but maybe not. We have the T79, what is chambered in the 7.62 kind of pistol round, the same one that I think it's 7.62 or 7.25. I can't remember the exact caliber denomination, but it's the round that fires out of the TT pistol. This is going to be a bit of a cheaper weapon. It's got a high fire rate, if I'm correct, I'm wrong if I'm saying, I think it's 750, but obviously this round is really, really cheap, and it does have a pretty good leg meta round. I think it's 64 damage, so this could be an even more budget version of leg meta, but obviously with a higher fire rate than what the MP5 does. So, I mean, I probably definitely will use it because, you know, me, a leg meta machine over here, I just love chopping people down at like a tree. So it's probably something that I'm going to be using on stream quite a lot, but I can't imagine there'll be too many people using this gun though. But hey, it's a welcome addition. I'm not going to complain too much about that one. Now, coming to our last two weapons though, God, these last two are creme de la creme. We have the definite new 100% meta. There's going to be no gun that's even going to come close to this one is the MK14. I had people in chat telling me about this on mobile and how overpowered it is on there. And yeah, it's no different on PC as well. Obviously, shooting your MAE M62, M61, it's a designated marksman rifle, but it's fully auto and has a crazy high fire rate and also has pretty manageable recoil. I tested this bad boy out in the fire range, and yeah, at kind of like close to mid-range, you are essentially going to be beating anybody at anything, even people who are using HKs. Essentially, it's just going to be an absolute dominant machine on the battlefield. The only thing kind of railing this gun in a little bit is the price of the weapon. On the beta at the moment, just to kind of buy the gun with kind of like basic mods on it, is about 750,000, what is ludicrously expensive. And then if you couple the fire rate with the type of ammo you're going to be using, minimum M62 and maybe top loading with 6.1, you're easily looking like over a mil and a bit just to be able to, for the weapon, not even including armor and everything else to go along with your kit too. So I can't see it being super viable, like people using it all the time, because you're going to have to come out with every single raid, surviving them and just killing so much and guarantee finding reds in every single raid just to be able to afford to run the gun. But it definitely is going to be the #1 spot, creme de la creme, best gun in the game going forward. Unless obviously it gets nerfed between now and the patch, and maybe I might be hoping for that just a little bit. Then last but not least on the weapons being added in is my personal favorite. Now, I've already had some good raids with this gun. We have the ML rifle. It was essentially a Remington lever action rifle that's chambered in 44, the same as the Deagle. So the penetration of the ammo isn't particularly great, but I can see people using this definitely in normal games and definitely in lockdown too. Unless when you're running into your tier 5 and tier 6 players, you are going to struggle a lot, but this gun is hella fun to use. Is it completely practical and amazing? No, like I said, you're definitely not going to be using this from Forbidden, because once you start to get to tier 5 and tier 6 helmets, this gun becomes absolutely useless. You might as well at this point just turn the gun over, run up to them and just try and beat them to death with it than actually try to shoot them with the round. You'll be able to kill them much faster that way. But in the normal games, when people are only running up to about level 4, and then sometimes obviously in lockdown as well, you will one shot to the head with the JSP rounds. And I have already so much proof of that with using it on the beta so far and having an absolute blast with it. And then also as well, there might be another video coming out very soon of just pre-early raids of me using this gun, because like I said, it is just a blast to use. Now moving on to some other changes that has come into, we've had some map changes, specifically farm to be one. We've had 2 new major areas being added onto the side of the middle of the map. So we have the small hall, what also has a new safe. I guess hall that kind of looks like more like a church. It's located in the north side of the map near where the stables are. So there's been an expansion on that part going outwards with this new area with the new safe as well. I also can confirm there is a new boss, I'm pretty sure, that spawns here too, because I have killed her. I was going to say him, but it's actually a female character. I killed her already at this location. So there's now 2 boss spawns now on farm 2. And then also in the south of exactly from where that area is down south, there's another area called the wheat fields. And this kind of connects up and then pushes onto the back of Villa. So there's now like an expanded area behind Villa as well. So you can kind of get some different angles, kind of like widening the map a little bit. It's going to be a little bit easier to cross that midsection without just getting absolutely railed from any of the teams that spawn on the other side. So you can kind of get round now without just getting destroyed. What's quite nice, effective changes to it. There's also been some little other changes as well. So just before you get to Villa, when you spawn on that side of the map, there's kind of like more buildings now, I think, to stop the cross section where people just kind of snipe you as you're running over towards Villa from that spawn. What's quite a nice change as well. And then now moving on to the TV station changes. I don't think there's been tons of map changes. There's been a drop down point now added from the pool room down to the garage, what I've seen too. But the major change has been added to TV station is these new computers that are located on certain points of the map, where once you access these computers, you'll be able to look through cameras on certain parts of the map. What I've been told is that you can only access the cameras that are closest to the computers, so you'll be able to look around and get an idea. So maybe it might help some ratting situations. Obviously, I think this might be a bit of a bandage patch for the ratting on TV station, because what will happen is those people who play ratty like that will just learn the blind spots for the cameras and then sit in those, so it might not end up working in your favor. But for the most part, for the early part, it's going to be quite nice. A new welcome feature to the game though has been these extract extraction boxes. So now on every single map, I'm pretty certain it's every single map, there are now boxes where you can go up to them once you've killed a player in that raid, and there's a 2x3 slot in this box where you can store valuable items that you've found in raid so far, and they will be instantly sent to your storage without you extracting from the raid. So now for some of you people who have got the biggest storage containers for your raids, once you get the you haven't got the max elite and you haven't got the biggest container size, you find a raid, instead of just immediately you then leaving the to go to extract to get out, obviously get that loot, you can now store them in one of these closed boxes, and then you can continue the raid on. So I think this is a really cool ad, obviously just to be able to keep the raids more alive. So now you don't have people, like I said, who are just hitting the rooms, finding something expensive, and then immediately trying to go to the extract to leave. So now you've got incentive to want to stay now, fight more, make more money, because now you've already guaranteed yourself some income. What's nice, because like I said, it keeps the maps going and more alive, because as you know, there are some raids you go into where you don't run into a single player because you just have people running around just trying to get the loot, get out and extract, and aren't bothered about fighting whatsoever. And obviously with this being a PvP centric extraction shooter, the PvP is the essential part. So if you take that out, then it's not fun at all, really. Another big request from the community is to have lots more season quests to be added, and from what I've seen from the new ones that have been added in this next season coming, there is going to be, I think, maybe 2 to 3 times the amount of quests for you guys to go through. So for those people who do enjoy the questing side and don't just focus on PvP, there's going to be a lot more for you guys to be able to do there. And some of the rewards actually look pretty good as well. There was a nice AKM kind of like blue digital camo skin that was quite cool, so it'd be nice to maybe grind out to try and get those too. But new missions, hey look, more money, extra stuff to be able to do, I'm not going to complain whatsoever, and I think a lot of you guys will agree too. Another welcome feature as well, so there was this feature in the game already, so you guys have seen those kind of urgent missions that happen sometimes mid-raid where it tells you to go and I don't know, kill like some scavs that are spawned in a certain area to get a reward kind of thing. Now there are like certain missions in areas like go kill these people, collect a certain item, or go find this and this certain item, where there is these kind of like dock stations on the map. You go to them and then you accept the missions from these places. So if you're running around and aren't finding anybody, you want something to do just in the meantime instead of just running around, you can accept one of these missions and go do those. Again, another way to kind of generate currency, especially for those people who like to play the normal raids. I mean, I can't imagine seeing people doing this from Forbidden, but I can see people doing these on the normal or knockdown missions just to make a little bit extra cash, and then also just to burn some time if they aren't actually managing to find any players and haven't got anything from any of the safes. But with all these extra things being added to the different maps, there've also been an update to the in-game map this time. So we had it last season where you could see where the safes were on the kind of main menu map, but it wasn't on the in-game map. Now that's been changed. We have in-game safes now located on the map, so it's easier for new people who are getting onto the game as well. And the same thing goes for these storage containers where you can obviously send your extract loot out. These are also marked on the maps too as well. And the same goes for these quest accept mission places that I just mentioned prior as well. So these are also located and dotted around on the maps that you can now see. So it's another welcome addition for a quality of life change for the map system for those new players who don't know everything off by heart already. Now for you kind of PvP centric guys who just love to climb leaderboards, the official leaderboard has now been added. So we have a leaderboard for kills and also for loot value. There's tabs between the global system and also if you just want to be at the top amongst your friends. And then to go along with that, what I thought was going to be the hideout, we now have the trophy room. I don't know if this trophy room is going to be like the first iteration of the hideout, because obviously like Tarkov's hideout, for instance, has like a trophy room kind of system where you can obviously like show off to your friends. So I don't know if this is the first iteration, then they're going to expand it and do crafting and stuff afterwards, or this is the only thing we're getting with it. I don't know. All I know is we've been told we're going to get like some basic part of the hideout, but we have this at the moment where we have a weapon wall where you get so many kills with a certain gun. I think it's 180 on rifles and it's like 150 on pistols and knives as well, where you can display these on your wall. So you buy knives, you can display them on there as well. And then also we have a display case for items, so Pacific Red items and other in-game items. Once you collect so many of them, you can then display them on your walls as well. And we also have dog tag shelf too as well. So say for instance you come across me, for instance, your favorite streamer and favorite YouTuber, you can kill me and then you can take my tag and you can display it on your wall and then take a picture and send it to me just to rub it in my face. Or maybe I'm not your favorite streamer, that might be someone like I know, and you could do the same thing as well. Or even run into one of your own friends and then hang their dog tag up as well. It's a great opportunity. I love dog tag shelves. I think this is a cool iteration for the trophy room. But then on top of that as well, we have the dummy, what will allow you to display any of your purchased skins so for instance, the most recent one that's just dropped in ABI, what I think is the security one that kind of looks like a SWAT soldier kind of uniform. And then obviously we had the ghillie suit in the most recent one was obviously the scab boss from Northridge, so you can now display those on there as well. What's the last thing to be added into the trophy room? Now, the last thing has been there's a few UI changes to the menus, kind of just move things around. Nothing too spectacular, but that kind of finishes off everything that's coming into Season 2. If you have enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe for more. And if you want to see some in-game gameplay of the new season, I will be streaming it over the next couple of days here on YouTube in vertical. And if you want the horizontal, it's over on Twitch too. Links will be in the bio for that. But like I said, remember to like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.